If you every day carry a flashlight for work, this new Olight Arkflex is going to be for you. Not only is it going to be rectangular, rounded, and very, very comfortable, it also has a flex top. With the magnetic tail cap, that's also the charger. This is going to be able to sit somewhere and get light exactly where you want it. The button to turn it on is on the side, which is pretty sweet. Standard UI on this, you're going to be able to double tap for turbo. You can just single tap, turn it off. Single tap, it's going to remember where it was except for turbo. And then you push and hold, it'll go through all its modes. Very sweet. With that said, we have a battery meter that is up on the front. There's 4 bars. This is a great feeling flashlight, not overly heavy, long lasting, and very durable. For a comparison inside, this is the Arkfeld Pro. Here's the ArcFlex. You can see that the Arkfeld has more of a squared corner. And then when we flip it over, the Arkfeld is going to have all your modes up front compared to where the ArcFlex is just going to have that single on-off switch on the side. Very similar feeling lights in your pocket, except I like the ArcFlex a little better because of the rounded corners, and it is quite a bit smaller. It took me a while to become a fan of the Arkfeld, and there's multiple models out, but when you slide it in your pocket, it is nice. It's fairly flat. It doesn't have any sharp edges, so it's there, but you really don't realize it's there. It's easy in, easy out, and you can just slide it in. I love that. I don't use the laser pointer. I don't use the UV light, but I do use this in my truck quite often. So when the ArcFlex came out, this to me is absolutely amazing. It's a little bit smaller. Now I struggle putting it in my pocket because they flipped around this clip. It's only because I'm not used to it. It still slides in very nice, but with the clip flipped around, it just feels weird. So goes in, out. This doesn't move while it's in your pocket. It takes a fair amount of force to have that move, but you just get over that first clip, slide it in the back corner, and you are good to go. Here's where this light really shines for me, and it's the flex and the magnetic backing. Now this magnetic backing is much stronger than what you'd see on a normal flashlight. It'll hold itself up in many ways very easily. You just need to get a flat bottom. If I get that corner piece, it'll work its way where it wants to be, but we're not going to put this on a rounded edge. You don't put any magnetic flashlight on a rounded edge. You're going to stick that guy on there, turn this dude on, and you have all the different modes that you'd like to go through. If you don't have the mode that you want, double click turbo if you really need it, and you can see the whole engine bay. Very sweet to have this kind of light here and available, and to put it anywhere you'd like to have it. If I'm comparing the Arkfeld Pro to the ArcFlex, what am I losing? I'm losing a lot of throw. If we look at the candela over here on the Flex, we are at 1900 where we're at 2608 candela. So that's long throw light on turbo. As far as lumens on turbo, we're 1300 on the Arkfeld Pro and 1000 on the ArcFlex. Not a huge difference in lumens, but significant. As we move down from high, medium, and low, we are coming very close to each other. So if you're a guy who's using these lights on high, medium, or low, the ArcFlex is going to be great, although it's not going to have the throw. So to me, I still go back to, for mechanics or anything like that, the ArcFlex is where you would want to be because you don't need that long throw. Now, obviously, the Arkfeld also has UV light and a laser. I don't know how many people use that. To me, I would rather have the ArcFlex with the flexible head in the smaller body. Now, we do lose some battery. We have 1500 milliamps on the Arkfeld Pro, and we have 1050 milliamps on the ArcFlex. That's a fair difference, but at the same point, I think they're going to last similar amounts of time, mostly because we're going to end up with a smaller light here and less throw. But if you look at the turbo mode, 4 minutes on the absolute maximum, 1300 lumens, 126 minutes on 420. We are 4 minutes on 1000 and 90 minutes on 400 lumens. That's showing us that we have a smaller battery in the ArcFlex. On camera, you're really not going to see the difference between the Arkfeld Pro and the ArcFlex. The matter is simply the throw, how far you're getting out, and the camera doesn't pick it up very well. But with that said, what I feel is that the Arkfeld gives me a lot more light close up, very floody, and it gives me a very comfortable light that I can actually notice that there's 2 LEDs up there pushing that light out, compared to the Arkfeld Pro where we only have 1 smaller LED, and you can feel that's pushing light further forward. If I were to have to guess, I would guess that the ArcFlex was going to be giving me more lumens than the Arkfeld Pro. Not the case in their measurements, but with that said, I am much more comfortable with the ArcFlex. Even with the button on the side, I really get that neural feeling that you have with it to know where that button is at, and it's easy to use. So for me, ArcFlex is 100% where I want to carry something, because this gives me a normal flashlight, but also the ability to use it in situations where it might be a mechanical situation, or if I'm just working and want to have light in a certain area, I can bend that flashlight over, push it in the ground somewhere, and just get it to get me light where I want it. That's huge. As a sporting person also, this is going to be able to sit up next to a tree, bend things over, get light where I need it. There's a lot of flexibility in the ArcFlex, obviously, and I think having a flashlight like this is pretty awesome. Downsides to all the ArcFlex and ArcFelds: battery is inside, not replaceable. When this battery is dead, so is the light. I have not had a lot of problems with any of Olight batteries, and I know a lot of people are like, hey, it's a proprietary battery and I don't like it. Then this might not be for you. My case, never had a problem with one, and they do have a decent warranty, so if something happens within 5 years, I think I'm pretty good. With that said, might not be for you, so, and I understand that. I'll have some links in the description to this stuff. I'm always interested in your comments. I know this flashlight stuff can be an addiction, but this one is a good one, I think. A really good one to have around. Every once in a while you run across one where you're like, lots of people should have this, so. Leave your comments below. Give us a like in this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.